Hi everyone, this is Dr. Sonalina with tip number 3 for you parents of distance learners and college level distance learners as well. This has more to do with your learning environment, the one that you're in charge of, or your child's learning environment, the one that you are in charge of now. One of the things they cover when we go through our teaching credential programs is establishing routine and predictability, positive predictability at home, in the classroom, so that when kids come in, they already know just kind of what the routine is. They know that they're safe, they know it's a stable environment, and then they just kind of focus all of their attention on learning. So we want to make sure that when our kids are learning from home, that they have the same kind of environment available to them. So one way to go about this is to establish a routine at home for morning, lunch, breaks, afternoons. And so if kids need to be up at a certain time and take care of whatever hygiene they need to take care of and eat breakfast and then be in front of their computer or working on an assignment by a certain time, you want to make sure that you set the clock so that they're able to get up at that time and have sufficient time to take care of all of those needs as though they would have when they were in school, attending schools and classes on campus. Another way to go about this is to keep the schedule predictable, but also keep materials, supplies, and learning resources in a consistent location. So that's predictable as well. So they know when it's time to change the print cartridge in the printer, where to find that and how to go about doing that, or who to ask if they don't know how. Pens, pencils, notebooks, paper, that all of that is available to them and in the same place that it's always been, that their textbooks are in the same place and computers are in the same place, where to charge their computer when they're done with school, that there needs to be an environment where all of this is predictable and it's consistent, and they don't have to waste time trying to look for those items that they need. They can just kind of focus their attention on learning, just like they would have if they were on campus. Another way to go about this is to give our children a consistent place to learn. I have a child who would not do well learning in the living room because it's too close to the kitchen, and then Amazon stops by with packages. So for that particular child, they need to be in a back bedroom with a desk. So, but not all children are that way. There's some kids that do fine in the living room. There's some kids who do fine in the kitchen. There's some kids who do fine sitting on their bed. So whatever it is, whatever that best environment is for them, make sure that that is always available to them. They can go there every day to do their learning, and that it's ready for them. So just making sure that's available. Another way to make sure that you're creating a learning conducive environment and schedule for your child is to protect learning time and respect school hours as though your child was attending school on campus. So that means that, not walking up and interrupting my kids when they're in the middle of the lesson or they're in the middle of an assignment, because I wouldn't be doing that during the school year. I wouldn't necessarily be scheduling appointments or around or during the school day either. I would be kind of scheduling those around the school day. So either before school starts or after school ends, that would be when I would make those doctor's appointments. And then that, you don't have to worry about like attendance issues with distance learning. Another thing to make sure you're doing is make sure that your child shows up to class meetings and turns in their work on time, because we want them to get credit for the work that they're doing. They're working hard too. It's not just, the teachers that are working hard or you that's working hard, but they're actually getting their work done. And that's awesome that they are. And we commend you as parents that you have kids who get their work done. So just make sure they're getting credit for all of that. Another thing, and this is something that doesn't happen too often, but it does happen, so I'm going to throw this out there. You want to make sure that you're saving family discussions, family meetings, and resolving conflicts within your family. That all those necessary conversations are happening after school hours, because no one really wants to start the day off that way. And so it's hard to kind of hear that and then sit and be ready to work, but have that on your mind. So you want to make sure that your child isn't thinking about stuff like that. So save those conversations for after school. And your awesome spouse who keeps buying the cheese flavored product instead of the actual cheese, you can always wait to talk to them about that after school too. That's not super urgent, although I do know that certain things do need to be resolved quickly. But if that happens, you want to make sure that you're doing that kind of away from your child, away from your children as they're learning, and you want to make sure you're whispering so that they don't know anything's going on. So those are some tips for creating a learning conducive environment and schedule. Feel free to email me if you have any additional questions, and I can't wait to share more tips with you. Have a great one.